From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
What's going on, nerds, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. We are going back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we are talking about Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. What's up? Oh, God. Will, are you okay?
He's hype.
I thought he was broken. I needed you to reset him back to factory setting.
That's not gonna happen.
That doesn't work like
don't
that?
do that. I have my preferences all in place.
So,
Can I have a fly?
Rob, what's up, pal?
Hello.
How have you been?
Thank you.
Good.
How's your new phone?
Works. New phone. It's great.
I thought you were going to say new phony.
It's an A13.
Oh. Ooh. What's up, Megan? Happy birthday, by the way. Chat, give her a happy birthday.
I got an Oreo.
Good. Thanks. Yes, birthday was Saturday.
Yeah, but we celebrated
had
like hell on
lots and
Sunday.
Lots of fun. Yes, we did. We had lots of fun.
Yeah, my ass got hurt.
Fun.
My arm is still like dead. Like dead. So,
If you
Megan...
didn't try to be a beast throwing the ball, you wouldn't have had that happen, now would you?
Well, I wasn't the one being the beast. But Megan, we found a new skill that you have with these crane games.
Oh, yeah, that.
First time? Was it first
Yeah.
roll?
No, it was actually third roll.
Oh, well, you're still under 5.
Actually, it was technically your first roll, Megan, because the first 2 times you didn't even get the die.
Oh, true. Very true. You are right, Will.
James, what's going on, my friend?
Not much.
I mean,
This guy.
not much. Do you not see what your background is? Audience, look at the actual show background. It's made by James. Always comes out fantastic, and I have no clue what any of that writing actually means.
Oh, Wakanda Forever.
Oh.
Oh, damn!
Did you not see the translate? I sent you the Wakanda.
You sent me the Wakanda translation. I don't know that you sent AJ the Wakanda translation.
I don't think he did.
No, I
You
didn't.
sent it to me.
Damn, I was gonna get really upset with you. Like, have you not studied your Wakandan? Damn.
No, I don't study at all. These are the first
It's
time
why
I've
you're-
even seen the questions.
This is why your
Hold on,
village
guys, I
elders.
got this. I got this. AJ doesn't know English, so how is he supposed to learn a second language?
She figured it out. Folks.
She's not wrong, but fuck, why are you all burying the lead here?
Because you're the one who texts me hieroglyphics every day.
I stopped texting you. I think today was the first day in like 3 days that I actually messaged you. So, blah.
I wasn't even bored at work either. It was great. It was a great feeling. I for once wasn't bored.
I'm always bored. And annoyed. And tired.
I'm a jalapeno. On a
Are you on a stick?
I could take that a bunch of different ways, but Will, how are you, Mr. Bowling God?
Got it, bowling. Thank you for asking.
Somebody please come and knock him off his pedestal.
No. You kind of can't hit him. It's bad for everybody.
You really want to be an abuser on camera? A little on me?
No, I'm just gonna make you go build the doghouse that I've been threatening for ages.
Yes, finally!
What is it, made of Legos? It's the only way he's going to do it. But Susie, how are you? How's everything going?
So far, so good.
I know there was a couple things you wanted to talk about before we get into Wakanda Forever. Why don't you take us through the sad part?
So I will take you through the sad part. However, I would like everybody to revel in my accomplishment for today of I have been working at my new job for 3 months.
Very nice.
Yay!
And I realized that in talking to somebody today who tried to convince me that I'd been at the job for 6 months.
There's no freaking way.
Well, I mean, with all you do, you might as well.
Hey, with all I've learned how to do in the last 3 months, we're doing pretty good. So I realized a couple of things today. One of which is that we have made it for 2 years and like 5 months without our Black Panther. And while we have a new Black Panther to take on the mantle, it's not the same, and it will never be the same. And I think everybody here will have difference of opinion about how his death was handled in this movie, but definitely well worth waiting the 2 years to have a new Black Panther. And then my other sad note is Facebook decided to remind me yesterday that it has been a year since we lost Bob Saget.
Ooh.
And if anybody who grew up on Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos, and there's a couple of things that he did.
All his dirty comedy
why
specials.
I don't know how we made it a year without Bob Saget.
He was America's daddy. That sounded weird.
Called a parasocial relationship.
That hurt my feelings yesterday, so I decided that I had to hurt everybody's feelings today with it. So as of yesterday, we have been without Bob Saget for a year.
Ow. Tis hurts.
Please don't let us lose Dave Coulier.
You're okay with John Stamos?
A little bit.
I mean, I already watched him die in SVU recently. So...
John Stamos, though, has a young kid, so I'd like him to stay around for a little bit longer.
I mean, if you remember that episode, he had like 80 kids.
Oh my god.
And about 30 baby mamas.
Have mercy.
I see what you did there. I see it. You're a dick. Cut it out. Alright, Susie, you made questions. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Wakanda Forever.
So my first question, and I really need to get like a wheel that I can spin for when it's more than just me, AJ, and Will. For who goes first?
Pick a random bitch and you ask them the question.
Are we fancy now?
I mean, I did say
so.
I mean,
that's why I asked if we were fancy.
What you could do, Susie, is start with one person, then go to the next person, the next question, the following person, the next question, just round robin the bitch.
Okay.
Fuck, the first one's going at me.
Hey, James.
Oh, okay.
I have a specific question for AJ, so it's fine.
I don't know whether to be scared or aroused.
So really wrong time to be aroused.
I swear sometimes our comments are just to see AJ's face when we make them. He doesn't know what to do. So James, while while AJ recovers,
there is no recovering.
Did you like the funeral for T'Challa?
Yes, I did.
Did anybody else hear that?
I feel like there's a but.
And no, I didn't.
Okay.
One, I liked it because obviously it was them showing the celebration of the life of T'Challa, you know, their love and respect and how they're going to miss him. And the reason why I didn't like it was because it also solidified and also set in for us that was it.
T'Challa's gone.
We're saying goodbye right there. And I know we had the buildup of the trailers for quite some time, so we saw the steel and like, you know, the still shots of it. And as you guys probably saw, I already gave you the little chart of what, like, the Wakandan alphabet. I sat there for like, I think hours on end saying they're translating everything, and like it slowly hit as the scene was coming in. Because I don't know about you guys, but like I had a cold chill because it felt like we lost a family member, a best friend, if that hits at all.
So I'm gonna just chime in. Do you remember the opening when they do the Marvel opening? It was all pictures of Black Panther and T'Challa.
Panther.
And I think that's when it hit the hardest for me, other than the funeral scene, is that this is literally the like that hit. So I mean, like, yeah, for me, yeah, I liked the funeral scene, but I also hated it because so the funeral scene for me is what I've always how my family has always dealt with grief. We are sad and then we throw a party.
Party over here.
Party rockets in the house tonight.
So like the way they celebrate life was a little closer to what I think that death should be celebrated as. But it still was like, we are now closing the book on this chapter, and I'm like, no, I want more.
It was a dick punch and a half.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's worse? The first 5 minutes of this or the first 5 minutes of Up? Because I want to say this.
This.
Didn't you ask me this question?
Probably.
No, he asked this for the same movie.
Okay, because it was this for me, but then again, I'm heartless because I don't cry when Mufasa dies. I don't cry during the first scene, the first 5 minutes of Up.
Yeah, you's a cold ass bitch.
Yeah, thank you. Apparently, I'm heartless.
When you walk away.
I was gonna. Damn it!
Say, please.
Susie, why'd you have to pull your husband's string? I think the batteries need to come out next.
My husband didn't start it.
I know Rob did, but Will's the one that went like full plus ultra on it.
No, because I could have sung it real, and I chose to sing it like a dingus.
Have you met his spirit animal?
Is it Deku?
Yeah.
I thought his spirit animal was Forky.
That's his Disney spirit animal. His actual spirit animal is Deku.
Oh.
So, Megan, what did you think about the funeral scene?
I thought it was good. I mean, like with you, Susie, that's kind of how we celebrate it. We have the funeral, and then we have I wouldn't call it a party, but we have a get together after to to remember all the good times with that person that has departed, and all the all the happy memories and stuff like that. So
I'm sorry, I my party statement and term it celebration of life.
Yes, the celebration of life. So I definitely agree with you, Susie. It hit that way for me too, because that's exactly how we celebrate. But there's a question later on that I will put in something else about that. But
AJ walked away from his headphones, and I don't feel safe.
I was asking my beautiful mother-in-law if she needed help bringing anything inside.
I have a question.
Okay, but I don't feel safe with you doing that.
If it's called the celebration of life, does that mean we have to sing Circle of Life?
No.
no, Will, no.
Hey, Rob, can you please answer the question while I contemplate different ways to annoy my husband?
It is a valid question.
I did love it. There were moments during it that I was honestly tearing up. When his casket was taken into the sky, I was misty-eyed.
Dude, it effed me up. The whole beginning scene from where you see his heart rate, and then when the mother comes around all teary-eyed and everything, and be like, no. Just no. Like, you know where they're going, where they're coming from, and why they're doing it. But it's like, it doesn't feel complete. His story's not complete, and they just, for obvious reasons, but still. Like, it was a fucking gut punch.
Well, in some of the comics, I was reading up on this where they have something like this happen to him. Yeah, it's the same way. They gut punch you real bad when it happens.
But I feel like they do that with all superheroes too. Where if it's something unexpected or they really need to transition to a different actor, they like gut punch you.
Nah, sometimes it can be very unceremonious.
Yeah. Rob, were you finished? Because we all kind of jumped in on yours. Okay. Will, did you want to add anything?
Rob kind of hit mine dead on the head. Except for I didn't tear up when the coffin was going in the air. I was tearing up as Shuri's running around trying to finish the herb.
Uh-huh.
That part just hit me a lot harder than the coffin going up into the sky.
Yeah, I'm right there along with you, pal.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Rob. What were your thoughts on how Shuri took T'Challa's death?
I mean, yeah, being like blaming herself for this somewhat, not being able to finish the herb, not wanting to grieve, I can get it. And I think they took through her stages of grief pretty well. The actress was phenomenal.
Susie knows her name, don't worry.
Oh, Letitia, right?
Yeah. Love Letitia. I loved how she handled her stages of grief.
She was in the movie we covered last week.
So, yeah.
See, I honestly think you see all... What's the word I'm looking for? Not all forms of grief, but all stages of grief within this movie.
You do.
And I think that's a very well put...
And you see it through different characters, but you like there are different characters that represent each stage, but Shuri goes through. But you see Shuri as the common character going through all of them.
Mm-hmm. But you also see that, and the biggest thing that I like about Shuri in this movie and how she deals with T'Challa's death is grief is not linear.
No.
It could take a year. It could take 5 years. Grief has no time limit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big thing that I saw for Shuri, is that a year later, after her brother's death, she was still grieving. She was still beating herself up. She was still grieving. She still felt like, this is her fault. And I know people that have been in that place where they think that the death of a loved one is their fault. And I like how they presented that in this movie. Well,
I like how they deal with like the rage part, where a certain someone shows up in her thing.
We'll get there.
I know, that's why I'm not really fully talking about it yet. But that was
specifically talking about how she took the death, though.
Well, that's kind of part of it.
No, that's how she took her mother's death.
It's a bit of both. It is both, because that's where you really see her rage about it, about how she could not help T'Challa.
Anybody else have anything to add? I just want to make sure I don't skip anybody.
No, I think you hit everybody.
Yeah, I completely agree with. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Susie. I think they did the stages, very well. And as someone who is still grieving to this day over a loss, because it hits me especially hard on my birthday all the time, since the person that I lost shared a birthday with me. Like, I get it.
Mhm.
Every time my birthday comes, like, it just hits like a ton of bricks. So I completely get, where Shuri was coming from with everything and how long it took her.
How did you guys like the underwater people?
I thought that was one of the coolest things in the movie and how they did it. Granted, I get it. We need air to be down there, and they need water to be up here. And it looked like something out of Harry Potter, like Task. What is it? 2? Like their own version.
The second task in Goblet of Fire, where they have to go save their
Yeah.
friends from mer people. Yes,
Well,
exactly that.
This is Marvel's version of Atlantis, as far
Yes.
as I understand.
I would assume so.
So
I thought it was cool. I like their designs. I like their, I don't want to say physics, but I guess their physics of it.
I'll go with physics.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't have a
all the, and then their staffs and everything that pretty much turns them into superhumans. Because they fuck some shit up.
yeah.
Like, I'm going straight to that bridge scene.
Oh yeah,
yeah, 'cause
absolutely.
Namor is really the only one who actually has like full blown powers. Powers where the other ones are just a little enhanced.
They all have powers. I mean, he's just a mutant.
Power.
Yeah, he just has the winged feet. That's about it. And he can breathe above water without a mask.
They go
but
choppy
otherwise,
choppy.
all have the same like superhuman strength, superhuman everything. He just got a little bit extra because he was it happened while he was in the womb.
So, what else? James? How do you like the mer people?
I like them. I really do.
Uh-oh.
I just felt the scene was too long. Was digging the song.
Figured you would.
But yeah, no, other than that, I was like, that's cool, that's great. I'm like, I'm happy to see you. I'm like, you guys are like a preview to Avatar before Avatar comes out in a couple of months. Or in a couple, like, weeks.
It was like a month.
Dick.
It was like a month.
How dare you?
Black Panther came out in November, and then Avatar came out in December.
Yeah, I know. I was just being sarcastic about that.
Oh,
But the
shit.
problem was just, I like these blue people more than I like those blue people.
If they were green, they would die. Megan?
So I liked the underwater people, and I thought it was really cool. And the mask that the girl was wearing kind of reminds me of the mask that Bane was wearing in Batman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Son of a bitch. Damn it, Megan.
I had to look it up before I said it, just to make sure that I was correct.
How dare you
I was
think
about to
somebody
go,
does my
wow.
own shit?
I'm about to go, wow, at least they're not like Bane and setting off.
They kind of did.
James?
No, that's why I stopped myself.
James?
AJ,
Huh?
What, Susie?
I didn't do it this time. It was Megan's fault this time.
Boo, you guys suck.
It was Mohegan's fault this time. Anybody else got a comment about the underwater people that I can't find an appropriate name for?
Underwater people?
I know, what the heck I can't remember what they're called.
The Undrownies? Don't kink
They're
shame me.
supposed to be called the Atlanteans.
They are the Atlanteans?
They were supposed to be. It's hard because Namor and his people in the original incarnation lived underneath the Antarctic Circle.
Okay.
in the paradise there. So they were polar. So they weren't anywhere where Atlantis normally is, like in DC or something. They changed. I think he's supposed to be off the coast of Mexico or
Yes.
Brazil.
Yeah.
It's off the coast of Mexico.
Mayan.
It's basically like
I
a
think they're
Mayan or
Mayan or-
Inca.
Hmm.
Inca's South American.
Not as
I do
bad.
believe. And
Okay, so I'm still not wrong.
No.
Because we don't know how far off the coast of Mexico it is, so Inca could be a.
or which coast?
Right.
There's two coasts of Mexico. And that's what got me. I didn't know if he was in the Bay or the Gulf or the actual Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Shit.
But considering that there were conquistadors that killed people, I'm assuming he was in the Bay Area. But I didn't like the Mesoamerican theme for him. I much preferred the Atlanteans as a whole as more of a Celtic Greek version of themselves.
Hey, Rob, if it helps you any, it's the Atlantic Ocean, so.
Okay, so it's on the left side of Mexico if you're looking on the map. No,
So apparently he's
I think
the
it's left.
Mexico-
Namor was the ruler of the Talocons, and that he was from a Mayan community.
Mayan, you were both wrong.
Yeah. Well, he said Mayan behind me.
I said Mayan first, but I was like, it was either
Mhm.
Mayan or Aztec.
Hey, Susie, I did something stupid.
You do that a lot. What?
I turned on
Yeah,
hockey,
she's at the party.
and then the
Yeah.
Minnesota Wild scored, like almost immediately the minute the screen turned on.
AJ, what did I tell you about watching hockey?
Watch teams that you don't like, so they both lose.
Yes, exactly.
Also, I had wanted Namor to be part of
the guy's name is
Captain
Brendan
America
Merrill.
in his story. Like I wanted Namor in World War II.
Oh my god, that would have been awesome.
Because that's where he started.
Wasn't he a little kid then?
Yes.
No,
No, he was a grown ass man by then. He was a grown ass guppy at that point.
Oh, okay.
he was old
Grown
as
ass
hell.
guppy.
Remember, he was there when the conquistadors and the colonials started taking over
So
Mexico.
how old is he?
Yeah, but
He's around
in the
300. He's either 300 to 600 years old. Oh wait, do you have the actual page up?
God, he's almost as old as Dumbledore.
I thought in the
French
story it
restaurant.
shows that when they were taking over his land, he was only a little tyke.
He was a kid, and their version of the heart-shaped herb gave him immortality.
Right.
All right, Susie.
At least
Oh.
agelessness, not actual immortality.
He was
Still
in
died.
when they took the heart-shaped herb, though. Like he
What?
wasn't even born yet when they took the heart-shaped herb.
Yeah, I think they gave it to the mother.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
gave it to the mother. They forced the mother to take it, not knowing what the side effects would be to her unborn child.
Right.
All right, Susie. Next question.
Thoughts on Shuri becoming the Black Panther?
Can I do exactly what I did in the movie theater?
Absolutely.
I can corroborate that is exactly what he did.
Let's not talk about what I did in Avatar.
I can't wait to talk about Avatar 2, just so I can watch you dance.
James, Shuri being Black Panther.
Okay, first off, I was anticipating this for quite the longest time, and I don't know about you guys, but like I was overly excited, and I know because Will was sitting next to me. When we saw the suit, I just went, "Oh, that's nice. That's really nice." Like I was overly excited with that, and then back in my brain, I'm like, I can't wait to see the upgraded version of this down the line. I hope we get the fur on the back.
That's a really nice suit.
That's nice. That's a nice boulder. I like that boulder. Megan? When you're done laughing, obviously. Squirrel!
Squirrel.
don't know why when AJ said that, my brain was like, "What do you think about Greg?" I mean, I haven't met you yet. Give me an assessment.
All right, Megan, you good now?
Yeah. So I liked Shuri becoming the Black Panther. Obviously, like all of us were expecting it. So just to see how they did it, and how she was brought, like, or how she put her stuff, like when she put on her suit, it was like, oh yeah, it's like, this is what we've all been waiting for. What do you want to say?
No. I was gonna make a joke like, I mean, unless you're just people online who are just complaining nonstop, but
Did I hit your arm in the theater like I usually do at something good?
Yes.
I don't know. I know I was like grieving, but I don't know.
I can't remember.
I know I'm never sitting next to Susie or Jocelyn fucking again.
Oh, you're totally sitting next to me again.
Rob, thoughts on Shuri becoming Black Panther for the first time?
I loved it. It was great. A part of me thought that Okoye would have become the Black Panther, but I like where they went with her instead. And I think it makes sense. And she is the best person to take up the mantle of Black Panther. Better than Storm, at least.
Wait, does Storm actually become a Black Panther?
I need to fight you on that. I need to fight you on that statement because I think Storm was damn good.
Nah.
That's it. Me and you, knuckles up. Go outside. Get ready. Like,
Do you want to rethink that?
There will be
what,
no
knuckles up
cuffs in our podcast.
Oh no, we're gonna go outside.
I say bullshit.
I'll tell you about it later, James.
Okay.
Bye, Rob.
Oh no, Rob, you can fight me in your
He gonna
You're
die.
battle
He
ready.
gonna die. He gonna die.
Oh, what, this?
No. I'll message it to you.
Will,
Hey,
answer thy question. Shuri, Black Panther, first time.
I like her spirit conversation.
we're not
getting there.
yet. The question is,
That is Shuri becoming Black Panther first time.
But doesn't she don the suit before that?
no.
No?
She doesn't. However, I wasn't going to talk about her ancestral plane visit until after we talked about your thoughts on her becoming Black Panther over anybody else in the freaking place. No.
We didn't catch any of that, so only Susie, you heard that. Well, fine, Susie. What's yours?
I think it's great that we have another female superhero that is not perfect.
Wait,
Yes, I agree with Susie.
who's... Okay, outside of Wonder Woman, who else is perfect?
Well, first of all,
Wonder Woman's ass ain't
in
perfect.
1984 that she's not perfect.
Oh, I was talking about the Gal Gadot. All bullets miss me.
Okay, but in 1984 she proves that she's not perfect.
And we lost Black Widow, so...
And we lost Black Widow. And we still had
And-
Captain Marvel. Who...
Wanda's dead.
Huh?
And Wanda's
Well,
dead.
Out on that one.
Who's dead?
Wanda.
Keep saying
Oh.
Wanda dead.
I'm not hearing you, Rob.
She could see you, but she can't hear you.
I couldn't hear you. I'm just seeing the air quotes, and I'm like, what are you saying?
Not muted, am I?
Nope.
no.
We can hear you. Maybe Susie has the Rob filter.
Oh damn!
Can I have the Will filter instead?
Ooh.
There's the amount of
I'm
savage.
gonna take your nice present back.
No, you're not.
Domestic violence, the podcast.
AJ,
It's the
Did you-
podcast.
Yes, I answered it. Next question, please.
Hey, Will,
Uh-oh.
were you expecting Killmonger when she went to visit the ancestors? This is why I want to talk about the other thing first.
Hell no!
Who are you expecting?
I expected that shit. Maybe James, but that's because James is weird.
You gon' get it now, Will.
Wow, what the fuck?
James, don't you fucking deny that you have some weird obsession with Killmonger.
Okay,
You
shut
No,
up.
that would be me.
Actually,
But anyway,
that's me. I have a weird obsession with Killmonger because I knew that he was going to be in this movie. I just wasn't sure in what capacity he was going to be in this movie because I don't stalk things like that. No, not at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? We both
Yes!
did.
exactly what Susie said.
I,
She said
however,
stalk, not harass.
I was pleasantly surprised that
If
that
you
is
could
the
only
role
see.
that Killmonger took. There was talks about bringing him back to life.
What the fuck?
Yes, there was.
So I'm really happy that this is the way they chose to go. I was a little shocked to see him instead of seeing, like her father, any of like her grandparents. And that's really when I got the realization that she's so filled with grief and rage because her mother has just died. And that's really what she's mad about, is the fact that she just, like, a year after she lost her brother, she's lost her mother.
That's who I thought we were going to see. I
So
thought we were going to see the mother.
Yeah, but because she's so full of rage, she sees Killmonger.
Oh, fine. We see Emperor Palpatine then. Use the hate.
Use the dark side of the Force.
Oof.
So, yeah.
You are my daughter.
That doesn't sit well with me now that he said that. Nah. Oof, no, damn.
Sorry.
Megan, do you have anything to add about seeing Killmonger instead of the ancestors?
So pretty much exactly what you said. I was not I knew that they were bringing him back somehow. I just didn't know to what capacity and how they were bringing him back.
I broke James.
But when I saw him, I literally went nuts.
She like violently shook in her chair, and I was like, "All right, I mean, you good? You just died there, but all right."
But yeah, no, I don't know who exactly I was expecting to show up. Like maybe T'Challa, or maybe her, or her mother. But I definitely was not expecting it to be Killmonger. But I can see why they did it, because like as Susie said, she was in so much rage at that time, and that was pretty much like all Killmonger was in was rage because he was trying to get back what was his. So
Yeah, exactly. So, AJ, you?
I was expecting the mother, to be honest with you. Like, she just died. It's kind of like what we saw in the first Black Panther, where T'Challa takes the mantle and he sees his father. I thought she was going to see her mother now. But boy, for some strange reason, I really thought Killmonger was... That's going to sound completely stupid, but I saw it in my head, like, absorbs into Shuri and she becomes Killmonger, the new Killmonger, with all the Black Panther stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, for people that are going to laugh at me, if you ever played Arkham Knight, how the Joker fucks with Batman, that's what I thought Killmonger was going to do to Shuri.
Yeah, I see that. I'm picturing it in my head and going, that would be a really good twist.
I know, I come up with them every now and then.
Rob?
A part of me was hoping we would have seen Bast by now.
We did.
Not as like a 2 seconds blink and you miss it moment. Like Bast actually walking up and talking to a character.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
But it makes much more sense for it to have been Killmonger. I would have loved for them to take that further and have like a Scrubs moment where his ghost follows her around, whispering her into her ear.
That'd be
Great. Now I can just see her sitting with like Killmonger on one shoulder and like some form of her mom or T'Challa on the other shoulder. You know, good, evil. Which side you gonna go?
Evil.
So that's all I thought about right there.
Sorry, I did the full Mermaid Man.
James.
Wrong movie.
So for me, I was excited about this only because of one thing. One, Michael B. Jordan didn't know when to shut up and stop telling people he was in the movie.
Yeah, but you know what? He could have been psyching us out.
That's the problem. He doesn't know how to psych people out in his interviews. He's really bad at it.
Look, he's not as bad as Tom Holland.
Yeah.
He's gotten better now that Cumberbatch hits him with a stick every time he talks.
No.
Not today.
Interview and be like, I had everything blacked out. I only knew what the line was before and after my line. That's it. Like, dude, that's bad.
Right?
yeah, fuck.
But kind of like how like the majority are saying, it was also deemed appropriate that he showed up and was the one that was like, nah, listen, you kind of need to put your foot down. You need to kind of kill this guy. Like, he's literally took your family from you. He's taking your land from you. If I was here, that shit would be flying with me. So, you need to kind of follow in my footsteps and really go out there and show him something.
You need to beat this boy's ass.
And I think as much as I was happy about Killmonger being there, I was happy about that speech he gave her because
Stephen Amell is coming back as the Green Arrow in the final season of The Flash.
Yes, he is. Completely off topic. Continue, James.
It just popped up.
It's one of those things where it's like,
The real Hawkeye.
I love when a villain gives a speech, but once again, I love when a villain gives a speech and you're kind of like, I agree with him. I mean, he's right.
Well, those are the best villains, James. Those are the best villains.
Exactly.
The one where you're like, I might actually do the same thing. Maybe toned down, maybe a couple notches, but same thing.
A couple thousand steps, you know.
No, but I mean, even T'Challa in the first movie was like, Killmonger's going about this the wrong way, but he's completely right.
And that's why he opens up Wakanda.
Yeah.
Did we miss anybody with this question? Oh.
Did Megan answer?
I don't remember.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
What are your thoughts on the fight between Namor and Shuri? And with that, I included the boat fight too.
Has anybody ever watched Troy?
No.
Yeah.
Why are we revisiting this?
Because the spear through the back of the ankle.
Yeah.
Does anybody else, see the connection there?
It's also one of the most underrated
Achilles got
fights.
nerfed.
It's one of the most underrated fights in cinema history. The battle between Ajax and Hector? No. Yeah, I think it's Ajax and Hector.
So everybody knows what I'm talking about. Or at least you guys do.
I know what you're talking about.
Outside of that, Marvel Studios puts out a new patch and completely nerfs Namor. Like, completely neuters him by ripping off those flightless toes. Sorry, I'm trying to be funny. Apologies.
The man didn't drink enough water. That was his problem. That's why he got his ass beat. Should have stayed hydrated. Wouldn't have caught that L. Just saying.
Well, he didn't catch the L. He made it assume that he caught the L.
He got cooked. He got cooked right there.
But he's alive. How many Marvel villains are not alive?
Yes, but he has to walk with that defeat. That's still an L to me.
He's alive because Shuri saved his butt.
I think he's planning something a lot bigger.
Well, because I think in the end they realized that they ultimately wanted the same goal to save their people. And not only that, she realized she didn't want to be, she could have killed Namor, but she realized in the end she didn't want to become her cousin. Because that's what her cousin wanted, was for her to kill them. And she didn't want to go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she spared his life.
Well, she spared his life. I agree with you, definitely, because she didn't want to be a killer. Mm-hmm. She realized a lot of what her brother had said to her in the past and what her mother was trying to get through to her before, she died. And she also realized what Killmonger was telling her, and she was able to release some of her rage to realize that this is not the path I need to be on. Mm-hmm. But I do have to agree with AJ. I think a lot of the reason that they were able to come to an agreement after that fight is because Namor has something else planned. And he kind of alludes to it too at the end of the movie. So it's just a wait and see, like, what kind of, what this is going to turn into. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I think honestly, my favorite part of that fight is, hold on, I gotta look up her name. Give me a second. Is Riri, flying the Iron Man suit around the boat. Like the entire boat fight, like that was just amazing. And I'm like, cool, I'm ready for Ironheart now. Can we have it?
Okay, I was just about to, I was like, Susie, the suit has a name called Ironheart. But then you said the right name, and then I was very proud of you.
Susie, okay. just like in the movies, just
I'm ordering a doghouse. I'm gonna build it.
All right, who hasn't answered? Megan?
No, I did. James hasn't answered yet.
Thought he did.
No.
If we're talking about the fight, no.
I win.
So, ironically funny, her statement at the beginning of the movie where she said if she sat there long enough and thought about the grief of her brother, she would burn the world. Ironically, I want to say this. Is it ironically weird that she burnt Namor? Because it seems like she used her grief and her anger to lash it back at him. Also, too, I really enjoyed the fight. I mean, bro, we got probably the second most DBZ fight in Marvel history, because obviously we already know that this guy.
Which DBZ fight?
This felt very
And are we talking Kai or original?
Original. I was gonna make a joke with the self-hate, with the anger, and going into the fight, she felt very much of Vegeta.
Facts.
That shake from AJ, just you every single time, every other Marvel movie, you make a Dragon Ball reference. It's never gonna stop.
It's not Gohan versus Cell, and you just hear the song of him going Super Saiyan 2.
No, it's Kermit versus Cell.
Oh, we don't talk about that fight. That's a G fight right there alone. All right.
Kill shot. Yo, bro, I don't want any part of this.
I have my own issue with the Cell versus Gohan fight, so first I'll leave that one alone.
Oh God.
What are your thoughts about the fight?
Dude, like, I literally was sitting there kind of like, this fight is damn near perfect. I just wish it could have been, once again, with me and fights that are really great and catch me. I just wish they were just a little bit longer. And the reason why was just like, I kind of want to see her more give an ass beating in some instances. And like, she was doing it, but I mean, like, I really wanted to see her hammer.
But I feel like with the protagonist, they can't give a huge ass beating without wrestling reference here, having a little bit of a turn.
No, and that's fine. Like, I think the impact of her mother showing up right there when she was about to get the kill blow. Oh, speaking of that, hey, look, a mother showed up to stop someone from killing someone, and her name wasn't Martha.
Or Leia.
Why did you say that name?
I didn't know that name.
It was done correctly. Yeah, I said that.
Well, it's either Batman or... Actually, they did it in Star Wars, too.
But that's different. That's a whole giant family issue movie.
She said Ben, and then Ben turns around and Han's right there.
Okay, but you can't bring Star Wars into this.
Disney's Disney.
We can and did.
No, because the whole movie franchise of Star Wars is just a whole slew of family issues. So to bring that in, you bring all the family issues in. Whereas Black Panther is not a slew of family issues. It's just one person having family issues.
I mean, there's no family left, so I guess there won't be any issues.
But is there no family left?
I'm pretty sure that's a question towards the end.
It is a question towards the end.
How T'Challa had game, apparently.
Hey,
Oh,
AJ,
he never freezes.
what were your thoughts about the fight? And then my husband needs to answer the thoughts about the fight. As AJ dies, can you please answer the thoughts about the fight while I wait for AJ to not die?
AJ, on that note, I'll be taking my leave later.
In terms of words that Rob would use, blood for the blood god.
Skulls from the Skull Throne!
It was a bloodbath. It was a bloodbath. Them Atlanteans got fucked.
Okay. Rob, would you like to embellish on the fight?
There was some really good tactics being used here on the side of the Wakandans.
Fucking hell,
I'm
James.
not sure it was wise to, fight on the I'm gonna say the Atlanteans terms.
Mhm.
Maybe a tactical misstep there. Fight them on terrain that favors you.
Just like what Shiri did?
Yeah, just like Shiri did. Because you could retreat all your people to the mountains, and when they come for you, they'll have to fight in the cold.
Which their bodies are not prepared for.
Well, they're prepared for cold water. They're not prepared for cold air. That has a different effect on the body entirely.
Yes,
because
shrinkage is real.
they would be fighting in the mountains, in a heavily fortified area. That place is essentially like North Korea in terms of those tunnel systems. It would be merry hell trying to fight in there.
No ballistic missiles.
You do seed Wakanda proper, but like with Thor, Wakanda is its people, not its land. But other than that, the steps they took to mitigate their terrain weakness effectively, it was genius. They should have up armored that bottom, but the
Bottom.
like the thing that's been the sonic weapon that was disabling them. What are you doing?
Smacking that bottom.
And Shuri versus Namor. Hell of a fight. That was two people of parity trying to kill each other. And it comes across.
Absolutely.
And we rarely get that. It's usually been groups fighting each other, or a group fighting one person. And now we get this long, drawn out, painful fight. And it felt so refreshing to see this guy get his ass kicked, and to see Shuri struggle to get to close out the win.
I was
So,
just
yeah,
happy that bad guy lived.
that was my thoughts on the fight.
So after this, obviously, there's peace between the two countries. We see that M'Baku takes up the challenge for the throne, which I thought was an interesting play. We knew that Shuri didn't want the throne.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts of Ramonda's funeral practices? Because we see in the movie that she burns her funeral clothes that she wore to T'Challa's funeral, and she encourages Shuri to do the same.
It's a form of letting go.
But what, and what are your thoughts on this method to grieve? Is it something that you'd be interested in looking into? Is it something you've heard of before?
It was something I have looked into since the movie came out and listened maybe to a couple hours worth of YouTube videos on not burning sacred garments, but burning something that ties you to the deceased. And it's more of it's still I think about you, I care about you, but it's more of a helping you grieve to the fullest ability so you then can get over it. And I thought it was genius to have it in there because it comes from how do I say this without being rude or unpolitically correct? African kind of culture. Actually, I think Spanish do it too in a certain way.
Not just an African culture, and it's just a Spanish one. I think all cultures have it to some extent, because one of the things my mom told me when my uncle died, I had a lot of built up rage. I hadn't quite forgiven him for things that he'd done to me as a kid. And what my mom told me is to write a letter.
And burn the letter.
Of everything. Everything that happened, everything that you don't forgive him for, everything that, you wish you could have sat and talked to him about so that you could move on from that point in your life, and burn it. And it's a form of release. It's a form of saying, I'm mad you're gone, but I'm glad you're at peace.
Yeah,
So
a lot of therapists use it.
Yeah, therapy,
like that burning of a letter.
Yeah, it's big in therapy. But I know that the different culture, it's different in each culture, but I feel like all cultures have it to some extent. It's just whether or not families use it.
Yeah, I thought it was used well, used effective, and you feel that. Like, you feel when Shuri finally does it, that you see her take that deep breath and actually breathe for, I feel like, the first time in 2 MCU years.
Yeah, you really see her recover. Like, you see her start to begin the healing process.
Because if we're just talking about character stuff, she's never going to get over it, but she's going to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
It was kind of her finally getting into that acceptance stage of grief.
And I think I said earlier, I think we hit all forms of grief in
we do
in this movie. James?
Oh no, all of y'all touched on it.
We've kind of touched it. We've hit it on the head.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean, honest no truth. It's personally something I'm honestly looking a lot into myself with a lot of grief in my family.
Robert?
Yeah.
My thoughts on Ramonda's final thought practices. You misspelled thoughts.
Damn it, Susie.
Hey, Rob.
Rob, you're gonna die.
Susie, don't get mad. You do this to me.
See, the problem is I did it twice because somebody asked for questions an hour before I normally post questions. So I was trying to get them up as fast as humanly possible. So I did not spell check.
You did do it twice, didn't you?
I did.
I'm just gonna go down here.
Also, you
Let me
know,
know when the.
Hey,
That
you did it.
auto-
You did it. In, you fucked up in two different ways on the same word.
Rob, shush!
Hey Rob, answer
So
the
gut
question
and
before she
so golf.
nukes the whole thing. I'd rather not have a nuclear explosion because Susie just, completely.
So the guts on the practices. I love that it gave her that moment to sit there and do what her mother said to do, and hear him in the wind.
Yeah.
As the wind is blowing over the trees, you can almost hear his voice. And I felt that was very important. Not only was it a way for her to uh, finally get those emotions out, it was a way for us to process Bozeman's passing. Because in a way, this movie was helping everyone get through his death as well.
God damn it, he has a point.
He does.
Hmm.
How dare you make sense, Rob?
So Susie, I feel like you're fixing those spelling mistakes. And what's the next question? Wait, was I actually right?
Yeah. Thoughts on the story?
I said it like 3 or 4 times. It's a Shuri taking the Black Panther mantle now, but it's really about introducing Namor, the Atlanteans, and grief, and how she tackles grief.
Mm.
James?
My thoughts on the story. I thought this one was a great way to close out Phase 4, because this whole entire phase has been honestly about grief in one shape or form or another. So for it to close out on such a strong note, it was poetic in some nature. You use the story that you know is going to hit the hardest as the end to leave the statement of, this is what we're going into now. Like, this is probably our next phase after this too, with probably more grief. Like, it set up a darker tone, if that makes any sense. Not darker as in edgy, bloody, gory, but I mean, like, it set up we're now able to kind of address and assert the feelings that we're having, if that makes any sense.
Assert your feelings, Jeff Fafa.
Why does everything come back to Jeff Dunham with you, Megan?
What about you, Megan? What are your thoughts on the story?
So I completely agree with both, with what James and AJ said. It pretty much the whole story, it was about grief, and Shuri's dealing with grief with everything, and also the fact that like James said, we had a lot of grief in this phase of Marvel, so it's just tying everything together. They hit the nail in the coffin, if you will.
Oof.
Will, I need you to pick up and tell me your thoughts on this story while I recover from Megan's commentary.
This movie was fucking amazing. Mic drop.
Okay, but what are your thoughts on the story?
Why are you dropping Mikey? He's not even here.
The story was fucking amazing. Mic drop.
Again, why are you dropping Mikey?
What the hell did
I'm
Mike
gonna
do?
message him and let him know you're attacking him. Like, I don't feel like this is fair.
I'm uncomfortable with. So, Rob, what are your thoughts on the story?
I loved it. I thought it was a great. I suppose it's a great epitaph for Bozeman, as well as us. It is very difficult to pick up from someone's shadow. especially for someone as frankly phenomenal as Boseman. And I think the writers and the actors managed to do it perfectly. It was a hell of a mountain to climb, and damn if they didn't leap over it.
See, for me, this has got to be one of my favorite Marvel stories, only because it wasn't yeah, there was a villain. I'm not going to argue the point that there was a villain, but it wasn't a straightforward villain. It was Grief. Grief was the biggest villain that they had to contend with, and I think that this story really, really shows that you can overcome a mountain, take a step out of someone's shadow, and still be who you need to be or who you are. So I think this story did a lot for many people, and I think a lot of people got many things out of it. So like for me, I don't know. This has got to be one of my favorite stories. I won't say it's my favorite Marvel movie, but it's definitely one of my favorite stories. Okay, everybody pick a character. Your favorite character. You don't have to tell me why. Just have to tell me your favorite character. Will, go.
M'Baku.
Stop stealing my favorite character.
No, he was one person in this whole fucking movie who always talked with common sense.
Okay.
The meathead of the first one, talking nothing but common sense in the second one.
Wait. Did you just say that shit talking is common sense? Because finally, you honestly see where I come from.
I just want to meet Winston Duke. That's all I want in my life. I just want to meet Winston Duke. And Baku is my hero. Megan, what about you?
So I kind of have two. So Shuri and Okoye.
I love Okoye in this movie. She so comes into her own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would mine be M'Baku and Okoye.
James?
M'Baku, and I was gonna joke and say everyone's favorite Hydra lady that we've seen two times now. This whole time,
my
like
God.
phase 4. I'm joking. She's not my favorite. Okoye. It was literally Okoye.
Didn't like Gook Gan?
Me?
Oh no, I did, but I never really liked Namor like that.
What'd you say, Rob?
I liked Riri Williams.
Oh my God.
Oh, Ironheart.
Yeah, she was great because she is very much that built an Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yes.
That's her, and I love the frantic, panicked energy she has about everything she's doing. She knows she's out of her depth, but at the same time, she's excited to just be here.
Wait, you brought the feds here, knowing I'm building all this shit here? Oh my
See,
god!
I'm wondering how in the show they're gonna do it, because like obviously there's a whole Ironheart show. Somehow she's getting the suit back.
There's an Iron
She-
Good show.
I mean, we've seen the Dora Milaje do more difficult things. Did everybody answer that question, by the way?
I think so. Yep.
Was that the last one?
No.
No. So I'm actually changing one of the questions.
Oh, dare you!
What are your thoughts on the bonus scene where we get to see T'Challa's little midget?
She said midget, and Rusty jumped up. He's like, "Hi."
For me, it was a way for Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa character to live on in future MCU and Marvel things. And it kind of choked me up because you saw Shuri start crying too, and I think she embodied what everybody else was watching. James?
excited because I'm like, now let's see where this takes us. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know even still with that scene, I still had some tears in my eyes. I mean, even the second time around seeing it, I had tears in my eyes, even regardless of that scene. It's I can't find a word to fit how I feel about it.
Yeah.
There aren't enough words in my vocabulary to tell you how I feel about it.
But one thing, for all the people that were sitting there saying, why don't they just like recast? I mean, you got your recast.
Yeah.
There you go. Monkey with the facts.
It's Tyler, but he'll work.
Mm-hmm. You got it. Just,
Stop.
You gotta wait.
Why are you so
Yeah, I was very shocked.
Really?
Because I would because I'll say the reason I was is because I was like, wait a minute. T'Challa had a son.
I mean, he never freezes. I mean,
I never freeze.
Guess that's where it might have started.
Did he freeze like a gazelle in headlights?
Because we never, got any. I mean, obviously it had to happen after the last one, but like you never saw. Was it Nakia? Is that her name? Right?
Yeah, Nakia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we never saw Nakia pregnant, so it was like, wait, huh?
You wouldn't have. They spent I guess the way it's supposed to work is that after Endgame, T'Challa went and found her.
Mm-hmm.
And but they didn't want anybody to know about the baby.
Well, yes.
So.
But yeah, so it was just like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But yeah, so it was because he has his father's name, so it's like he still lives on.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything to add about the bonus scene?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you think this was a good way to move on from Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because in a way, they gave him one of the best send-offs a character I think has ever seen.
I would agree. However, going back to the question that Susie took away, I would agree that this was a good way to move on from him. However, I feel, I mean, I don't know, to me anyway, I feel like there was something missing because in the movie, they didn't tell or show what happened and how he died. So I was kind of confused, like, wait, but like we know how he died in real life, but I was like, wait, what happened? How did he die? I'm confused.
It suggested that it's almost like a blood disease, and the only way that they could cure it was with the heart-shaped herb, which was no more, which is why they and I say blood disease, it was an incurable disease that even Wakanda didn't know how to cure.
Mm-hmm.
So they were hoping that the heart-shaped herb would do something, but no matter how much Shuri tried, Shuri couldn't replicate the heart-shaped herb, and but they don't.
I think they needed. Yeah, I think.
They don't want to put a name on the illness.
Yeah, well, I don't think they needed to put a name, but I think it would have helped if they touched on it a little bit more because, like, then people like myself wouldn't have been confused and would have been like, wait, huh?
What the shit?
Like, they don't have to put a name to the disease, but just touch on it just a little more. Like, I know they talked about the heart and, the heart-shaped herb and stuff like that, but it was like, they could have just said, he had an illness or something. They didn't have to put a name to it.
Well, they did touch on it a little bit because they said that he'd been dealing with it for over a year before he actually succumbed. Like, before he even said anything to anybody, he'd been dealing with it for like a year.
I'll have to watch it again. I must have missed it then.
Yeah, because when she was talking to somebody, they were discussing it.
I am fine with watching it again.
Which, I mean, would
Comes
make
out on
sense
Disney Plus in a couple days.
Yeah.
Which would make sense
They
because
moved
if
it
you
up. I thought it
think
was the 20th.
It is the 20th. I figured that was a couple days.
I mean, that would make sense on what you're saying, Susie, because as we all know in real life, he was battling with cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he was battling with cancer for a very long time before he actually came out and said, said something about it.
Was it colon cancer?
I
Yes.
think
Mhm.
yeah.
It was colon cancer.
Yeah, so it makes sense how they did it. I mean,
And
it
he
took
was
him
doing treatments while he was filming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rob?
What was the question? We were on that one.
Do you think this was a good way to move on from Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa? And I guess you could throw in if there was something in there that you thought should have been in the movie. Is there a reason for standing on me?
I said this on the way out to James. T'Challa lives. And I thought it was a great way to have a living memorial to
Yeah.
him.
I 100% agree with that.
And that's one of the best ways you can honor someone is to make sure you're never forgotten. There's someone out there who will know who you are.
Oh, you remember, if anybody's ever seen, oh God, what's that Disney movie with Remember Me and everything in it?
Coco?
Thank you.
Welcome. Hi, Silas.
Yeah, Silas is behind me. Whoa! Where are you taking all those goodies? He just went down there with, like, those tree cakes.
And he's not sharing?
No.
Yum.
The Little Debbie ones.
Yum.
Like 2 boxes of them.
He's not sharing with me?
How is
He's
that
not
gonna
sharing with the rest of us? What the heck?
I'll come over. I got no problem. I'll get my car right now. Let's go.
It is too damn late to deal with a Susie in person.
It's too damn late any day of the week to deal with me in person.
Will, stop shaking your head.
I wasn't shaking my head.
Anybody else have anything to add about Chadwick Boseman being a good way to move on from Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa? Or
I'm excited to see where they go with this now. Hopefully they give it 3, 4, maybe 5 years and maybe age gap the kid a little bit. See how he turns into his own T'Challa.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
And then, has Black Panther ever had a sidekick?
I don't think
No.
so.
Nah.
Just leave it to Disney.
I mean, there have been some X-Men who have fought alongside him, but because of how Wakanda is, mostly not.
Well, I don't see Shuri giving up the mantle, but I fully expect her to bring on baby T'Challa.
I would love to see more of the badass in blue behind Megan.
Yes. One of the best characters in the movie.
I would love to see more of her. She's freaking badass. I literally could I just have an entire series of
The Dora Milaje?
yes. Just an entire series.
We're getting that, right?
No. I'm excited. I need more of her though. If she's not in it, I'm not watching.
I know. She was like, was it Okoye goes, what are those? She goes, Shuri gave them to me.
She's like the
the kunai?
Yes, the kunai. Shuri gave them to me.
Kunai and chains?
It's literally the perfect balance between Okoye. Like, it's a great chemistry between the two of them. I need more.
And I wanted to try them. You took away your staff for those?
I mean, honestly, if someone gave me kunai, I would definitely use them in battle. I'm just saying, like.
What do you mean someone did? I did, and you used them.
I would not be allowed to use kunai.
You
Yeah.
already got stabbed by them.
Jesus, did Batman's work for him?
And
Yes,
I think on that note,
I gave James batarangs. You stabbed both Megan and someone else.
I didn't stab Megan. Don't say that statement.
Hey, James, where can people find you?
thank you.
Yeah, he
Now I'm
didn't stab
defending
me.
myself because he apparently thinks I'm a vigilante attacking
He
people.
didn't stab me. I stabbed myself.
Maybe we should give
They've drawn your blood.
potions and health potions for Christmas. since apparently he tries to stab everyone, then he
Yeah.
can give everybody healing potions so he can continue to stab them.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, to be fair,
Someone needs to give me a wand that I can have in D&D, so when I do my spells, I can use it.
Megan, you'd come out of nowhere. A Vatican, and we're all dead.
I'm the only symbol to do that, bitch.
James, where can people find your beautiful artwork?
They can find on JFair Art.
What?
Um,
Did you not answer the final question?
No.
Thought you did. Weren't you talking this whole time? Fine, then answer the question.
I want to see more of the Wakandan religion. Like I keep saying, where's my bast? Bast is best. And I definitely want to see more of Monkey Man. Mountain Monkey Man.
And
M'Baku?
Baku of the monkey tribe. Him.
Have you seen his Jimmy Fallon interview?
Bro, those
No.
people look so comfortable. Like, they weren't ready for that.
Like, he stood up in front of everybody and started chanting, and the whole crowd is going. And then Jimmy Fallon comes around the corner and starts banging on a drum.
All right, that's what I want. I want to explore the Wakandan pantheon.
Okay, James. Now where can people find you?
So Instagram JFair Art, or you can just find me probably randomly starting to post my stuff in like the podcast page. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do it.
And you can find me on TikTok when I'm back to up posting and stuff, which I will because I'm back to a normal time.
Woohoo!
Megan?
Where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and now on James's TikTok.
Oh yeah, I saw your post the other day. That was cute. Rob, where can people find you?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
I'd rather be neverwhere.
Vaporware.
Uh,
Cyberware.
Got it. It's fine. I'm just gonna go back to my books. Nobody understands my book references.
Nobody knows.
As long as you stay away from fucking Death Note, you could have your books.
Fighting people.
James, don't touch it.
He has an entire notebook filled of movies that he has to watch.
Death Note.
Where can people find you?
People can find me in Saskatchewan.
okay.
The fuck you doing up there?
Making my own soup.
Making your own soup. What kind of soup?
Suit.
Oh, suit. Got it.
I thought he said soup too. I was like, that's gross.
Yeah, I was a little concerned. You can find me working on our Discord channel. Now that I can exist outside of my own time zone. So we should have that up and running by the end of the month, with any luck. And then check out my torture of AJ as we continue on with this programming where we revisit my childhood. Actually, for that matter, we revisit Rob's childhood because Rob helped me with some of these movies.
Oh, great. I'm gonna get tortured.
No, only emotionally.
Yes, it's just emotional damage. You'll be okay.
Emotional damage.
Susie, did you mean to do that?
You know what?
Did you mean to say that so everybody else chimed in?
Didn't mean to say it so everybody else chimed in. Hush.
Get fucked.
So, next week, we are covering Black Adam. And then the week after, we're doing Avatar, followed by Avatar 2. Hawkeye, The Page Master, The Neverending Story. I got full docket.
Yeah, and they could all see that at the bottom of our video with our brand new ticker.
Yeah, but I don't know how far your ticker goes.
Goes all the way to the Page Master. Tickler? What?
Ticker. But I will happily announce that I will get the exact date. But this is 100 Years of Disney, which, yes, will be on our schedule for this year.
Absolutely.
because I'm not a Disney nerd or anything like that. And I didn't work hard on it.
Only 100 years? Damn, I feel like it could have been more.
Yeah.
The fuck?
1923 is when they produced their first animation.
So that was Black Panther 2, everybody. Wakanda Forever. Very good.
Where can people find you, AJ?
People don't care about me.
I care about you. Now show the clip.
Yeah, we care about you.
Hey, you guys, this is 625 here from Lilo and Stitch. Some people think of me as AJ Coppola. I don't care. Just follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitch at NDTA JalisStar15, and Xbox and PSN at AJ All-Star 15. I should have said AJ All-Star, but I'm a sandwich maker. What the hell do I know? Do yourself a favor. Go get yourself a hot fudge marshmallow tuna fish and ham sandwich. All right? Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
All right, everybody. That was Wakanda Forever, Black Panther. I almost said Black Adam.
That's next week.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, can you imagine if this movie had The Rock in it?
No comment.
It was a real race.
You already knew what I was going to say.
Rob.
See you later, everybody. Same time, same place next week. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Oh.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.